tell you this much. Ridley Scott, one of my all-time favorite directors. I think he's a genius. He's made some of my favorite movies. Russell Crowe, he's one of my favorite actors. He's such a diverse and, at times when he needs to be, intense and awesome actor, and very dramatic as well. And naturally, bringing the two together, and they do kind of have a partnership as well. They've done Gladiator, they've done American Gangster, the absolute classic A Good Year, and Robin Hood. So they definitely have their understanding of each other, and probably their most popular movie to date that they've done, Gladiator, the Oscar-winning film from 2000, won Best Picture, won Best Actor, Russell Crowe, not director, unfortunately, and a bunch of other technical awards. Won Visual Effects, of course, and Joaquin Phoenix kind of brought him into like the big league, I think, and he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. A grand epic, visually impressive, lots of good action. I'm not that huge of a fan of the movie, to be totally honest. Like, I don't know. Each time I watch it, I kind of like it a little bit less, to be totally honest. When it first came out, I saw it like when it first came to video, and I liked it. Was never crazy about it, and I realized that some people are like, this is my favorite movie. This is one of my top 5. But I don't know, something about it never really clicked with me. Kind of like if you compare it to like something like Braveheart that I reviewed. It's not as pleasant of a movie. Doesn't have as interesting as characters. They do seem pretty one-dimensional. I thought, like, okay, you got Russell Crowe as Maximus. Everything you need to know about the character you find out in like the first 20 minutes of the movie. He's a great general. He's a brilliant strategist, and he's just great at what he does, and he loves his family so much, and he just wants to go home and get away from the madness of war. And then, of course, his family's murdered by Commodus, who kills his father and takes over the rule of Rome. And that's pretty much that. Then it's all about revenge. He becomes a slave, becomes a gladiator. And pretty much the movie, it's just kind of this petty rivalry because, I mean, Commodus, he's fucked up. I mean, he killed his father. He wants to screw his sister. He wants to lead Rome under a dictatorship, basically. And he finds that this gladiator, who turns out to be Maximus, who he betrayed, is more popular than him. Everybody loves him better than him. I don't know. I think it's kind of a silly movie. The plot isn't really that good. And obviously, I mean, historical accuracies aside, I mean, I'm sure this is way far off from being anywhere near historically accurate, at least for the politics of the time. Like, I don't recall that section in history where the gladiator killed Commodus and temporarily, for 2 seconds before dying, freed all the slaves. Anyway, not a big fan of the movie. I mean, it definitely has its good qualities to it. I mean, the visuals are great. The action scenes are great. Like, this is the kind of movie, like, if I were forced to, say, fast forward to the best parts, I mean, I would definitely watch the opening battle and the gladiator scenes in the arena. That stuff is good. But the story itself, it's pretty bland. The characters are not really interesting at all, in my opinion. And I love Crowe, but I think he should have won for, anything else other than this movie. The Insider, I thought he was great. Beautiful Mind, I thought he was great. This movie, though, like, he does definitely display his range as an actor. He just doesn't have too much to work with. I mean, pretty much the only one who has a somewhat interesting character is Joaquin Phoenix, who compared to some of his other roles, this seems like a very, very normal role. But I don't know. I mean, it does have, good qualities to it. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad movie. But bottom line is, I'd say somewhat average movie with higher than average production value and action scenes that I just don't think should have won Best Picture. I mean, I know people say, oh, this is what inspired the return of the Swords and Sandals epic. Well, what do we get after that? I mean, 300, Troy. I don't know. But I mean, it's fine for what it is. I can't shit talk the movie too much. It has good things about it. But ultimately, I just think the movie's kind of boring. I'm not interested by the characters or the story. Um, the action scenes are good, and that's pretty much about it. So yeah, I mean, I've tried watching this movie over and over. I try to watch it during this time of year again because people highly praise it. It won the Academy Award for Best Picture, but I think it's one of the lesser movies to win the award. And I know people will probably hate me for that, but maybe someone will agree that it's not that great. But it's okay. It's an okay movie. It's watchable. So that's pretty much that. That's my review. I'll dodge the tomatoes. Thank you.